Okay, so you weren't admitted to the hospital. You were just seen by somebody the next day. What time the next day?
It was around 11, 10 o'clock. My mother had taken me to the hospital.
How did you get in touch with your mother?
After I left the house.
Well, how did you leave the house? Right now, he's locked out. You locked the door. And you're looking for something to record him. And you found something to record him.
Which was my son's tablet.
And
that's when I went into the living room. I brought my kids to the living room with me, and I had to wait it out because I didn't want to go out there like he was just going crazy, like monstrosity. But I was afraid to go out there. So that's when I had locked in. I locked myself in, waited until the morning. He cannot go 24 hours without going to sleep. So I said, I'm going to take my advantage, wait till he goes to sleep. And he went to sleep in his car. And I got my keys. And I grabbed my two kids, barefooted and all, no clothes. And he had set the alarm.
Just a second. So you grabbed your kids and took them out to your truck.
Yes.
And drove where?
I drove to my auntie's house.
At what time? This is on the 21st?
Yes, the 21st. It was around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
And you drove to your aunt's house, and what did you do?
I went into my auntie's, and she called my mom. When she called my mom, that's when my mom had came over to her house and saw the injuries. And she said, we need to go to the hospital because we don't know how bad or how severe your injuries are. So that's when I was like, okay, I can go to the hospital. And she drove me there. I couldn't make a police report or assault report with the hospital because they were going...
No. You can't tell me what happened at the hospital that you couldn't.
Right.
You went to the hospital.
And then...
You weren't admitted. You were seen by a doctor.
Go ahead. Seen by the doctor. I wasn't, in fact, admitted.
If you were admitted to a hospital, I want to see those medical records.
Okay.
This isn't a medical record. This is a one-pager on a visit that you had where you complained about an assault, and the doctor did notice some abrasions on your face.
Okay.
Doesn't say you were admitted anywhere.
I'm sorry, I don't have that one on me.
Okay. So now let's move on. So you drove your kids about 10 miles to your aunt's house. You stayed at your aunt's house for a while. Your aunt called your mother. Your mother came and said, I think we should go to the hospital and check out your injuries. And
that's when
I want to know how the police got involved.
So the hospital called the police.
So you're saying it wasn't you, the hospital called the police, so the police came to the hospital?
The police came, but they wasn't able to. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was one of a county issue with the
You want to tell me?
Yes, she'll be able to tell you better.
So, Judge, when we went to the hospital, so the hospital is between Harris County Sheriff Department and HPD. So when we...
Well, he was arrested somewhere. So he was arrested somewhere. On what date were you arrested?
I was arrested on February 24th, so 4 days after this incident.
Okay. I assume you asked your daughter what happened when you, either driving to the hospital or when you got to your sister's house.
Yes.
At the time you asked her what happened, did she tell you that they had been in a fight?
Well, I could see they had been in a fight.
Well,
but...
no, there's a difference between a fight, which is mutual combat.
Right.
And an assault, which suggests that there was only one victim and one perpetrator.
Yes.
So what I want to know is whether your daughter discussed with you the facts that she's just relayed to me. That's a question, not a ha-ha.
Right.
Did she tell you that they were fighting?
Yes, she did.
Did she tell you that she at any point put her hands on him?
No, and she didn't because her mouth was so bad. She
just
really
a second.
couldn't explain.
She did. She just told me.
Yes, but she didn't explain it to me that way.
I know, but she just explained it to me that way. I'm not putting a judicial imprimatur on anybody's assaultive conduct.
Right.
But you have to understand that in a fight, somebody ends up at the bottom of the barrel and somebody at the top of the barrel.
I agree.
You did hear your daughter testify that at some point he got up and she went to throw a punch at him and missed.
Right.
And then he punched her and he continued to punch her. You did hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to see a video.
Just press play.
No, it's hitting me. I have no phone. He took my phone. He took everything, and I'm helpless. So I'm trying to get out of here, but I need proof. This is proof. He's on me. I have blood everywhere. I have blood everywhere. Oh my God. I'm scared. I'm scared, dude. He is crazy. He is really, really crazy.
Okay. Would it be a fair statement, Mr. Clarence, that you did, in fact, punch her in the mouth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I want you to tell me, because I see she's injured, her mouth is injured. I want you to tell me in your own voice what precipitated that, because that's a nasty hit in the mouth.
So when we flipped over the couch, I stood up, and she says that she pushed me off, but she actually reached her hands up and grabbed me by the testicles, and that's when I punched her. Right after punching her, she let go. I ran to the door. When I ran to the door, she followed behind me with a car battery. She picked it up, and she tossed it in my direction, which caused for me to have an injury to my hand.
You have photographs of that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
That's not true. There's the battery.
Just
This was taken a couple days afterwards when the
By
swelling
whom?
went down
by whom?
by me.
Is that the only injury that you sustained?
No, ma'am. I also from when she was choking me with my work lanyard. I also have pictures of my neck that was taken that next morning.
I'd like to see it.
Untrue. I
Don't
saw
speak.
him.
Don't speak. You're talking about this cut?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was that?
That's on my neck. No, it's right here, across the front.
Oh, I see. Okay. Go ahead.
So when we were tussling, so she threw the car battery at my hand. I looked down at my hand. I look at the broken doorknob, and when I'm looking at the broken doorknob, I look back up.
Which doorknob is?
The front door. Well, from when I grabbed the door, and when she tossed it, it hit my hand and slammed the doorknob down.
Okay.
So I look down at my hand, and I see nothing but white inside of my hand. My hand was bleeding. Well, was about to start bleeding, but I saw the white, I saw the bone, I saw everything. So I looked up, and I was like, what did you do? Are you crazy? And at that point, she says, I don't care anymore. She grabs me by my shirt, and she pulls me into the house and starts punching me. Oh. At that point, when she starts punching me, I was like, you know what, that's it, and I started going back at with her.
No.
After punches were exchanged, I left.
Judge, those are the punches on the video that he did.
Just a second. I saw that she had an injury. He acknowledges that he hit her in the mouth.
So what I want to also add to that, because I saw him that same morning. I talked to him. He claimed at 7 o'clock in the morning he was on his way to a funeral. I told him, I said, well, look, I just spoke with my sister. I'm going by and get the kids some stuff. Don't come to the apartment. He shows up. Nothing wrong. I didn't see a scratch anywhere. And I asked him, why are you here? Well, I'll just come let you know that I filed a police report. Why are you here?
Shh, just a second. So he filed a police report. Can I see a copy of that police report? Do you have it?
I do not have a copy of the police
Okay.
report.
So after he told you that he filed a police report, you went back to your sister's house. I assume you got...
No, I hadn't went to my sister's house. So my sister called me.
To go get things... Just a second, Rick. Your sister called you and told you that your daughter was there with your grandchildren.
Right.
Could you go and pick up things for them?
Right.
So you drove over to the apartment where they had lived together.
Right.
He came,
Right.
said, I've just filed a police report against your daughter.
Right.
Then you went to your sister's house and you decided to go to the emergency room of the hospital.
Yes.
And then you filed a police report, or your daughter did.
We didn't file it at the hospital.
No, I didn't say at the hospital. Subsequently,
yes,
you
we
filed
did.
a police
Yes, we did.
report.
Correct.
Do you have a copy of that police report?
I have my affidavit.
No, I don't want an affidavit.
The
I
police
want
report, we should
a
have
copy of the
Sure.
police report.
Let me see. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, Kevin.
Alongside with my injuries that
I saw your injury. Well, this police report, the charge is assault of a family member impeding breathing.
yes.
And the affidavit reads Defendant, on or about February 20th, did then and there unlawfully, intentionally, and knowingly cause bodily injury to Safari Williams, the complainant, with whom the defendant had a dating relationship, by impeding the normal breathing and circulation of blood by applying pressure to the complainant's throat. Okay.
So right here, I have a copy of the motion to dismiss, which shows that they dropped the impeding breath, showing that I did not choke her.
That we know. The case was dismissed. Do you have a copy of the visitation order? You don't have joint custody, because you indicated you had joint custody.
We have joint custody now.
When were you granted joint custody?
August 1st.
Was that after the mediation?
After the mediation, yes, ma'am.
And, Ms. Williams, did you consent to the joint custody? Or did the mediator, after the trial, recommend joint custody?
Yes, I did consent to it.
You did. And that was the mediator's recommendation?
Correct.
Okay. The only thing I have to ask you, Mr. Clarence, is for what period of time from the 20th of February, was it until August or October that you didn't see the children?
So actually, it wasn't actually until that June. Orders were signed October. She failed to sign the children up for the domestic relation office for the supervised visitation. She failed to sign them up for another 6 months.
Not true.
That's
So it was an additional 6 months?
an additional 6 months.
Okay.
Judge, during that time where he was saying that he was trying to see the kids, he wasn't paying child support.
I don't care whether he was or whether he wasn't. I wouldn't pay child support if I had an order that said I couldn't see my children. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But it wasn't one of those keep the children type things away. It definitely wasn't. And when
Miss Williams, Miss Williams, I'm done with this case. While he has many causes of action in his complaint, the only one that I find actually viable, because they did, in fact, both of them engage in domestic violence against each other on February 20th. This is not a I say, you say. This is
because I went into the apartment and he had tape. He had electrical tape on the door. He kept my door there all night.
I want you to not speak. I want you to listen.
Okay.
I'm finished with the fact-finding in this case. Your daughter and Mr. Clarence had a domestic incident on February 20th. It is clear to me that your daughter got the worst of the physical bargain, but she was, in fact, the aggressor. She did, in fact, put her hands on him first. I'm not asking you a question. I'm telling you, based upon what she told me, she put her hands on him first, twice. They had a fight. It was unpleasant, and she ended up certainly more injured than he did. It was nasty.
Yes, it was.
There is not a scintilla of evidence that Mr. Clarence should have been denied seeing his children as a result of a restraining order for over a year.
He wasn't.
Just a second. Sit. Now you don't get it. Okay. Now you don't get it. I'm not listening to you. Now I'm ruling. There is not a scintilla of evidence that Mr. Clarence, who lived with these children for 4.5 years, who took care of them regularly alone, should have been denied seeing his children for over a year. And that's what happened because she asked for a restraining order that included the children. That's what happened. And that's outrageous because two adults who have children can fight with each other and they can be angry with each other and they can be vicious with each other, which they were, but they created two children. And the proof of the pudding is in the tasting because after it was all said and done, Mr. Clarence has joint custody of the children. So for a person that went from not being able to see his children then to supervise visits, because that's what he asked for, and that took an additional 6 months, that is an outrageous outcome. Outrageous. Because I know that you would think it was outrageous if Mr. Clarence prevented your daughter from seeing the children for 2 days, for 1 day. I would think it was outrageous. And in this country, mothers and fathers have the same rights to children. Not her children or his children, they are their children. And if she feels threatened by him and had a protective order, that's okay. But then you are cooperative with regard to seeing the children, either in a supervised manner or some other manner. But asking for a restraining order that includes the children when there was never any indication that Mr. Clarence was an irresponsible parent is outrageous. I find that on the cross-complaint for assault, I find that Miss Williams was, in fact, seriously injured in her mouth as a result of this altercation. I also find that she was the provocateur because she put her hands on him first. So I'm dismissing your cross-complaint, and I'm granting your complaint, Mr. Clarence, with regard to the children and the protective order which precluded you from seeing your children for that length of time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. On that issue alone, the remainder of your complaint is dismissed. Your counterclaim is dismissed for the reasons that I've stated. We're finished here. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so that was the full court hearing, and honestly, what a nice case that was. We had two people, both injured, both pointing fingers to each other, but the judge cut through all of it with sharp, no-nonsense questioning. The woman claimed that she was victim of assault, and yes, she was clearly injured, especially in the mouth, but the judge found that she was the aggressor. That is a good point. She admitted herself that she threw the first punch and even grabbed him in a very sensitive area. Okay. The man, Mr. Clarence, had his own injury too. His hand, his neck, and the choking charges was eventually dropped and the case dismissed. But the bigger issue here wasn't just the fight, it was the children. Mr. Clarence was kept away from his own kids for over a year because of restraining order, and the judge called that outcome outrageous. After mediation, he was finally granted joint custody, which tells you everything. The judge's message was clear: both parents have equal rights to their children, as usual, and using restraining order to cut off responsible parents is simply not acceptable. That is right, I think. At the end of the day, the judge ruled in the favor of Mr. Clarence, awarding him $5,000 in judgment, a powerful reminder that in family court, the truth always matters. Always. The truth always matters, and so does the well-being of the children. So I think that is the summary of this video, and we can learn many lessons from this. Thank you for hearing.